Imagine someone you thought was dead came back to life. The story of Jesus' resurrection is full of very human responses to it. The women who initially discovered the empty tomb, they were a little freaked out. The disciples who investigated it were pretty agitated, I think because they felt so out of control. The disciple Thomas famously doubted the news. After everything he'd been through, no one was going to sucker him with more Jesus stuff. Hey, what's the appropriate response for us? Are you sure? In the last chapter of the Gospel of John, we get an account of this very human conversation between the resurrected Jesus and the disciple Peter. Jesus has met up with Peter on a beach, and the two are due for a conversation about the way Peter abandoned Jesus on the night Jesus was taken away to be executed. Peter had failed badly as a follower of God, so one might think that confronted with the risen Christ, the proper response from Peter would involve some discussion of his guilt, his enormous mistakes. But Jesus carefully avoids that topic and instead just asks Peter, "Do you love me?" He essentially says, "Peter, my question is, in spite of your weakness, are you still for me? Are you still with me?" And when Peter says, "Yeah," Jesus tells him, "Then feed my sheep, get to work, go take care of the people." There are all sorts of ways to respond to Jesus' resurrection, but the response that Jesus is fishing for, mostly he wants us to join in. Jesus didn't die so we'd have to feel guilty. He died so we could trust God more. He doesn't want you to waste your life dwelling on how much you suck. He wants you to join him in the kingdom project, to encourage others to trust his good nature, to trust his very joyful affection for us. Death can't keep the Lord away from the people he loves. Imagine that Jesus showed up to you today and said, "Hey, I'm Jesus, I'm alive, why don't you join me in this thing?" Is that what you would have expected him to say? What should you do? Would you have questions? Would anything get in the way? Maybe some unspoken shame or some anxiety about what others are doing? When it comes to God, so many people worry about just being let in. But Jesus comes over the top of that and invites you to join in, to come alongside him as he works. There's so much more friendship in that and different challenges. Easter is such an interesting and unexpected invitation. How should you respond to it?